All right, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Guns and Guitars. I'm Dan, and today we are looking at this monster right here. This is the Wheelhouse by Do-All Outdoors, and this thing is freaking cool. All right, I'm Dan, this is Guns and Guitars. Let's get started. Alright, so I'm already in a bit of a pickle. This thing is obviously very portable as long as you're rolling it on the wheels. But what happens when you want to put it in the back of your truck and it weighs over 100 pounds? Well, we're going to find out because I'm just going to let you watch me struggle as I try to lift this into the back of my truck all by myself. This seems like a good idea. Oh, that is not the way to do this. Okay. There we go. Yep. What's happening here? Oh my gosh. Whew. All right. It can be done. Alright, just using a couple pieces of conduit that I use for my other target setups, I'm going to attempt to make a little ramp and just slide this thing down. Whew. That works surprisingly well. Did you know that this thing can throw doubles, triples, even a whole box of clays? Okay, maybe not. But seriously, I did figure out how you can use this thing to throw doubles. A quick disclaimer, Do-All does not recommend you do this. In fact, you're really not supposed to do this. And so do this at your own risk because it does involve putting clays into the trap thrower while it is armed. Okay, yeah, you can turn the machine off for a little extra safety, but it's still armed and it could still go off. And so, yeah, do this at your own risk. Now, I didn't film myself putting this together because it did take a couple of hours, and I figured that'd be kind of boring to watch. And honestly, Do-All sends it with some really good instructions. It's really easy to put together. But I will leave you with this warning. Don't just take your brand new box that was just shipped to you straight to the range and think that you're going to be shooting it that day. It does take a few hours, and it does take some tools that you probably wouldn't think to bring to the range. And so definitely assemble this thing at home before you get to the range. Now, once you get to the range, setting it up for shooting is actually really simple. So firstly, you will need a 12-volt battery. This battery is for sure overkill for this job, but I wanted a battery that was overkill because of the wobble base. So you have basically power for your thrower, and you have power for your wobble base. So you'll just hook those up to your positive and negative terminals respectively. And then for your foot switch, you have this really long cable right here, and this is your foot switch right here. And I don't know why they used like a standard like 110 AC plug. That's really confusing because it would be tempting to plug this thing into a power socket thinking that you could power the unit that way. So actually I'm not a fan of that, but it does make for a really quick, easy connection for your foot pedal. So that's really easy, but I'm going to show you if you want to set up your wireless remote, it's a little bit different in that you will still connect your positive and negative And I usually clamp these just to their respective clips. And I give them a good wiggle just to make sure we're making solid contact, and that's good. For the wireless remote, instead of connecting your foot switch to here, you're actually going to connect this to your foot switch. This is your wireless module. And then this has its power supply right here. And then you'll connect these red and black cables to their posts respectively. And then I usually do that just by clipping them onto the ends right here. And then at that point, you can power on your wobble base, you can arm your thrower, and you're good to go. Now, if you want to use the Bluetooth Smart Shot, the setup is actually quite a bit different. So I'm going to run you through that right now. So firstly, you'll connect your Smart Shot to the foot switch adapter. And then you will go ahead and hook up your thrower to positive and negative as you normally would. And then you're also going to hook up the Smart Shot power to your positive and negative as you normally would. And here's where it's a little bit different. You're actually going to hook up your wobble base to the two posts that are on the Smart Shot, because the Smart Shot has the ability to turn your wobble base on and off, which is great for conserving battery when you are far away from your thrower like we are going to be right now. Now you might be asking what the heck Smart Shot is. Well, I'm going to tell you all about it. So once you're all hooked up, you just connect with your Smart Shot app. You turn on the wobble base, turn on your thrower, and it will arm itself. And then you can turn your wobbler on and off, which is pretty dope. And you can tell it to throw. Now there is a 2-second delay set. You can set that delay to whatever you want. And so you could do like a 5-6 second delay or something like that. That way you don't really know. Here's the really cool thing about the app though, is that you can actually turn on multi-throw. So I can have it throw 2 shots back to back if I want. Which is pretty darn cool. And then there is a voice command feature, but I've not had good luck with it. Let's try it. Pull. 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 Well, it seems to be working. Wobbler on. Wobbler off. Pull. Pull. Yeah, so doesn't work as good as I had hoped, but I hardly ever use the voice feature anyway. It would be really cool. I'd probably use it more if it actually worked well. That's probably why I don't use it, to be honest. Now, silly me, I forgot to show you guys how to load this thing. So, but before we load it, we have to disarm it because I armed it when I was showing you guys how the Bluetooth worked. So you want to turn this to disarm right there, and then you'll hit your throw button. There we go. Now we're disarmed. So go ahead and turn it off, and then we can load up our clays. Just go ahead and grab a stack, and you slide them through the top here, set it down. It's gonna take forever if I do it one-handed, but you get the idea, right? Now, I forget how many clays they said this thing can hold, but I just counted. I've got 54 in there. That should keep me shooting for a while. And once it's all loaded up with your clays, you just go ahead and turn it back to the on position, and it'll crank it back, and it'll probably load that first clay. Yep, there you go. Test to make sure our Bluetooth is still working just fine. Throw. And there it goes. Beautiful. Dang. This thing throws them so far. It says that it throws at 55 yards, but I have measured up to 75 yards with this thing. Way to under-promise and over-deliver, do all. It's been a while since I've shot skeet, so I imagine this is probably not going to go very well, so bear with me. But let's go ahead and start that wobbler. All right, we got a 2-second delay. Let's make it a 3-second delay. All right, safety off. Yep, that was about as bad as I expected. Throw. Got it, finally. All right, back in the game. Darn it. All right, let's see if I have any better luck with the good old Sega. Start the wobbler. Bro. I got it on the 5th shot, but that was the whole magazine. That's the expensive way to go shooting. Let's try it again. Didn't even get it in 5 shots on that one. So here's a good reason why you might want the smart shot, is so that you can turn the wobble base on and off from a distance. Like, for example, when you're sucking like I am today, you might want to turn the wobble base off so that you do have a nice predictable trajectory. That way I can troubleshoot if I'm not leading enough, if I'm leading too much. I don't know exactly what I'm doing wrong. I feel like I'm shooting right through those clays. Sometimes they bust, sometimes they don't. So I'm going to try to dial in exactly what I'm doing wrong, and then I'll kick the wobble feature back on. Osprey definitely kicks a bit more than the Sega does. Well, I can honestly say that I'm glad that I got the thrower that I did get, because clearly my skeet shooting needs some work. I had planned to shoot a little bit right to left, which is what I typically am better at, and then I was going to wheel it around and do left to right, which I need work on, but clearly right to left needs a lot of work as well. So my arms are really tired, my shoulder is really sore. Shot 200 rounds of 12 gauge today, that'll do a number on you. But yeah, I was able to hit trap just fine shooting it out of the bed of my truck, but shooting skeet, yeah, definitely needs some work. And so yeah, I'm real tired. So now it's time to find out if I can use those conduit pieces as a ramp to get the thing back up in my truck. Now, this Wheelhouse is not the cheapest clay thrower on the market, but if you consider all the extra features that it has, it is feature-packed with the addition of the wobble base and the rolling cart, as well as the wireless remote and the optional smart shot accessory. This really is a good value. And if you are interested in making a purchase, I do have a link in the description where you can buy one from DoWall, as well as a coupon code GG10 that will save you over $100 on this thrower, or 10% off of anything else on their website, as well as free shipping over $50. I'm Dan, this is Guns and Guitars, and I'll see you in the next video. Not exactly graceful, but it worked.